Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ahmad and welcome to all test preparation videos. So in today's video we can continue further the MCQs of the zoology test of Public Service Commission, and we can start from question number 11. So move toward question number 11. What is an ideal fresh air amount needed by a man? Option A, 100 cubic feet per every 20 minutes. Option B, 100 cubic feet per every 20 seconds. Option C, 100 cubic feet per every 5 minutes. And option D, 100 cubic feet per every 2 minutes. So in order to find the ideal fresh air amount needed by a man, we have a formula. But in finding if you want to find cubic feet per minute, which we can write as CFM. So CFM, it represent the rate of airflow required to maintain the adequate ventilation rate for a person. So in order to find the CFM for persons, we have a formula. The formula is the time. If you find time in minutes, then time is equal to volume divided by flow rate. Flow rate means in cubic feet per minute and volume of cubic feet. So we can find out the time is equal to volume. We have given volume in options, that is 100 cubic feet in every option. So this is a constant. So 100 cubic feet divided by the flow rate, air flow rate. We take average air flow rate because in this question air flow rate is not given in this question. So we can take 15, which is an average value for the air flow rate. So 15 cubic feet per minute. So if we divide 100 by 15, we get 6.67 minute. So this is the time in which the ideal fresh air amount needed by a man in 100 cubic feet per every 6.6 minute. But in options 6.67 or 7 is not given in the option. So we can the most closely related option to this value is option C, 100 cubic feet per every 5 minutes. So this is the most correct option in question number 11. And if you find the time in seconds, then you can also find the time in seconds. So time in minutes in second is equal to time in minutes, which you can find through this formula, multiply 60. So you get 400 or roundabout seconds. So this is the time in seconds when a person can take 100 cubic feet per every second. So this is the time in second and this is the time in minutes. So option C is the correct option, that ideal fresh air amount needed by a man is 100 cubic feet per every 5 minutes. So option C is the correct option in question number 11. Question number 12 is the life cycle of Plasmodium in Anopheles was demonstrated by option A, Levran, option B, Altman, option C, Gracie, and option D, Morgan. So the life cycle of Plasmodium in female Anopheles mosquito was demonstrated by Levran. Option A is the correct option in question number 12. Levran discovered and insight paved way for advancement in malaria research, including the effective treatment and the mosquito vector role, and they can also has a great role in implementation of control measure for the mosquito. And his work also established the field of malaria parasitology and in a significantly contributed to our understanding of diseases. So the life cycle of Plasmodium in female Anopheles mosquito was demonstrated by Levran. Option A is the correct option in question number 12. Question number 13 is who proposed word Coelenterata? Option A, Aristotle. Option B, Fabricius. option C live-cut, and option D tremble. So the word Salentrata is a Greek word, and which is derived from the word koleos, which means empty or hollow, while enteron means intestine. So the word Salentrata is derived from a Greek word, and this means central digestive cavity. So the word Salentrate was discovered by the Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck, the French zoologist, and he can classify the certain marine animals with radial body plane, and he can discover the jellyfishes and sea animals. While the word Salentrate, the Salentrate phylum contain many animals such as the hydra or polyp, and that polyp or hydra was given the name by Tremblay. Abraham Tremblay, he is a Swiss naturalist, and he can study the freshwater organisms such as polyp or hydra, So he did not propose the term Salentrate, but he can study about a freshwater organism, and the freshwater organism are also present included in the Salentrata phylum. So we can say that the Abraham Tremblay proposed the Salentrate members, not the word Salentrate, because the word Salentrate was discovered or given by the Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck, who was a French zoologist, and he can classify certain marine animals with radial body plane such as sea anemone and jellyfishes. So the correct answer in this question number 13 is option D, Abraham Tremblay. Question number 14 is cells of immunity are option A erythrocytes, option B platelets, option C lymphocytes, and option D thrombocytes. So the cells of immunity which can play a role in protection and defense against the pathogens or certain microorganisms are lymphocytes. Option C is the correct option. The immunity cells included the first one, which is the major part of immunity, is WBCs, and WBCs further contain natural killer cells, neutrophils, and lymphocytes, which has a great role in immunity. Lymphocytes are further divided into B cells and T cells. Cells of immunity also contain macrophages, which are large phagocytic cells that engulf pathogens or certain microorganisms. Another are dendritic cells. Dendritic cells are also antigen-presenting cells to T cells in order to activate immune response. Another type of cells, immune cells, are mast cells. Mast cells are responsible for allergic responses and inflammation. So these are immune cells, but the cells of immunity are lymphocytes. Erythrocytes represent RBCs, red blood cells. Platelets is another type of blood cells, while thrombocytes are also blood cells. So the cells of immunity are lymphocytes. Option C is the correct option in question number 14. Question number 15 is, how many mitotic attempts are needed to have pool of 64 from single cell? Option A 5, option B 6, option C 7, and option D 8. In order to find out the mitotic attempts needed to have pool of 64 from a single cell, so we have a formula through which you can find out the total mitotic division for a given amount of pool from a single cell. We have formula log 2 into 64. So we know that in every division from when we can divide a single cell, then after division we get two daughter cells. So in every division we get the number of cells double in every division. So if we have a pool of 64 and we want to divide, we want to find out 64 cells from a single cell, then we have a formula this, that log of 2 into 64 is equal to 6. So in 6 mitotic division, we have a pool of 64 from a single cell. So option B is the correct option in question number 15. Question number 16 is, which structure have two residue? Option A, mitochondria. Option B, ribosomes. Option C, lysosome. And option D, mesosome. The first one is mitochondria, which is a double membrane bounded organelle, and it has two divisions. Their structure contains two regions, outer region and inner region. Mitochondria are responsible for they are known as powerhouse of cell, and they are responsible for production of energy. So option B is ribosomes. Ribosomes also contain two subunits. For a large subunit, which is responsible for peptide bond formation, and the small subunit, which is responsible for the binding of messenger RNA during translation. So it contains two units, the large subunit and small subunit, and this is non-membranous organelle. Option C is lysosome. It's also a membrane bounded organelle, and it is responsible for the splitting or hydrolysis of enzymatic cells and certain pathogenic cells. Option D is mesosomes. Mesosomes are membranous structure in certain bacterial cells. So we have mitochondria and ribosomes. We have mitochondria and ribosome. Most of the students confuse in these two options that which option is the correct option, because both contain two residues. In order, if we explain mitochondria, so it contains two regions, outer region and inner region, while in case of ribosomes it contains two subunits, large subunit and small subunit, which has their own function. So if we find out the most appropriate and correct option in among these two, so the most correct option is option B, ribosomes. Ribosomes contain two subunits, or we can say that they contain two residue, while the mitochondria structure contain two regions, the outer region or inner region. And we couldn't say this, that mitochondria contain two residue. So the most correct option in this question is option B, ribosomes. Question number 17 is, population having no gene flow is said to be option A, parapatric, option B, sympatric, and option C, isolated, and option D, allopatric. Parapatric speciation, these are the speciation types. The first one is parapatric. So the parapatric is represent a geographical in this type of speciation. They are geographically adjacent, but they can have limited gene flow. So the gene flow is present in this type of speciation, but it limited amount. So this is incorrect option. Option B is sympatric. Sympatric is also another type of speciation, and it is separated by a physical barrier. So it also contain gene flow also occur in this type of speciation. So this is also incorrect option. Option C is isolated. So in isolated case, it hasn't no gene flow, because they have physical isolation, ecological barrier, and behavioral differences, and this lead to genetic divergence. and formation of new species, which we called speciation. So isolated is the most correct option in question number 17, that no gene flow occur in isolated population. Option D is allopatric. So allopatric is also another type of speciation, and it and in this type of speciation they are separated by geographical barrier such as mountain ranges or a body of water. So this type of speciation, gene flow is also occur if we remove the body of water, then the gene flow occur in this type of speciation. So this is also incorrect option. So the most correct option in this question is option C, isolated. Question number 18 is peripatus is the junction between option A, mollusk and hexapod, option B, arthropod and annelids, option C, mollusk and asterisk, and option D, echinoderm and protochordates. So option B is the correct option. Arthropods and annelids has a junction which is known as peripatus, and arthropods include insect, arachnids, crustaceans, and spiders, while annelids represent segmented worms. So due to the presence of segmented legs and similar type of excretory system, they have a junction, and this junction is known as peripatus, and it including the presence of paired nephridia, which is excretory organ in each segment, and ventral nerve cord. So peripatus is a junction between the arthropod and annelid. Option B is the correct option in question number 18. Question number 19 is animals having post-anal tail is option A, scorpion, option B, snake, option C, lizard, and option D, toad. So animal having post-anal tail, option B is the correct option. Snake have post-anal tail. The snake has elongated body. This is legless, limbless, and it is member of suborder Serpentis. Suborder Serpentis contain snakes, and it has a long slender body having thin pointed tail, and that tail is known as post-anal tail, and this is present behind the cloaca, and the cloaca is a common organ for reproduction and excretion. And post-anal tail in snake is responsible for locomotion, balance, and weapon for defense. So the correct option in question number 19 is snake. Scorpion is a member of scorpion is arachnids, and they hasn't contain a tail, and they have their body contain two regions, cephalothorax, in which the head and thorax region is present, and abdomen. While the option C is lizard. So the lizard is a member of order Squamata, and this is a diverse order, and this lizard contain a distinct tail behind the anus, but we can consider that as post-anal tail, and that is also responsible for balance, communication, and defense. But the most correct option is option B, snake. While toad is a member of amphibian, and they have a sturdy body with no distinct tail. So option B is the correct option. Snake contain post-anal tail. Question number 20 is excessive secretion of growth hormone STH, somatotropin, produces option A, gigantism, option B, acromegaly, option C, albino, and option D, cretinism. So excessive secretion of growth hormone, we have two cases of growth hormone excessive secretion, or we can say that over secretion of growth hormone has two cases. If the growth hormone is over secreted in child, then it causes gigantism. While if growth hormone is over secreted in adults, then they cause acromegaly. But we have two, both of the options are given in this question, that gigantism is also present, while acromegaly is also present. So I think option B is the correct option, acromegaly, that excessive secretion of growth hormone STH produces acromegaly, because this is the adult case, not in childhood case. Excessive secretion of growth hormone is caused by the tumor in pituitary gland, and especially in that cells which are responsible for the secretion of the growth hormone. So excessive secretion of growth hormone caused acromegaly and gigantism both. So option B is the correct option, acromegaly, that excessive secretion of growth hormone STH produces acromegaly. So option B is the correct option in question number 20. This is the end of my video. Next 10 questions will be explained in the next video. See you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.